If we look at the 18th package of sanctions imposed on Russia, it contains a completely mysterious set of individuals whom the European Union has decided to bring under its wing. Meanwhile, almost the entire media entourage of Russian fascism is roaming around Europe, shopping, partying, and waving tricolor. In Paris, pop stars and those very living cogs of the Kremlin are having a great time. But when it comes to this EU sanctions altar, they've brought out some completely insignificant figures, people who frankly are nobodies. There's that same Shahnazar, for example. Well, he's a nasty little creature, but so utterly insignificant. After all, those who are 1,000 times nastier than him haven't been touched by the sanctions. And on the sanctions lists are people nobody's ever heard of, like some kind of bacilli of Putinism. For example, some woman from Crimea named Burova. Have you ever heard of her? No one has ever heard of her. Or Shagi Akhmedov? No one has ever suspected he even existed either. At the same time, the big fish of Putinism, instead of singing Beryozonka at some festival in Zazusenka or celebrating Russian culture at the Dostoevsky Festival in the village of Blevotino, all these big fish of Putinism, they spawn in Cannes and Monaco. But apparently, there are some of these underground tremors. Yes, they exist. The Federation Council is urgently called to raise all taxes in order to save the budget. The Federation Council explained that the Russian authorities need to look for additional sources of income for the treasury, which has been hit, well, of course, hit by both HIMARS and the reduction of various oil and gas revenues. So you have to understand that in this Federation Council of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, there aren't just chupacabras, not just bats, but there are also a couple of quite respectable toads. Toads are wonderful creatures. Beings of this kind, as is well known, can actually predict earthquakes, eruptions, and other disasters. Well, it's not that they actually predict them, but by their behavior, you can tell that an eruption is inevitable or an earthquake. The answer there is extremely simple. There's nothing mystical about it. All these wild croakers start to assess the level of radon gas being released from the ground and accordingly change their way of life. But the senator toads, they can sense the convulsions of the national budget long before that budget starts to crack apart. And that apparently is exactly what has happened. The main financial toad of the Federation Council has completely oozed slime and bristled its warts, predicting an imminent budget nightmare. That sounds very much like the truth, because a nightmare was exactly what was missing. We've been waiting for it. The nightmare has been clearing its throat backstage for a long time now, warming up, getting ready to make its entrance, but for some reason, it just hasn't been visible yet. And according to the frog-like authoritative frog forecasts, it won't be some cute little nightmare with ribbons, but a full-grown, ferocious nightmare beast, one that will gleefully grab Russia by both the throat and the backside. Hey, Putin, fortunately, is rather dim-witted. And when it comes to the country's well-being, he doesn't understand a damn thing. He considers any honest economic forecast to be the work of the Anglo-Saxons and sabotage. And right now, it's probably very important not to snap him out of this mental coma. Nothing should disrupt the effect of the appearance of the nightmare on the all-Russian stage. Russophobes have well-founded hopes that he will surpass the 1990s in his destructiveness, devouring not only enterprises and cities, but entire regions as well. The seriousness of the situation was also confirmed by the Speaker of the Federation Council, Valentina Matvienko, who stated that this year should already be a year of the strictest austerity, and next year this austerity will likely be tripled or even quadrupled.